And we're still with our coverages here at Sharm el-Sheikh at the COP27, and we are delighted to have with us Her Excellency Dr. Hala Sayeed, Minister of Planning. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
Now, the government here has adopted or is working on resilient recovery, rehabilitation and reconstruction, the 4R strategy, to build better adaptability for the mitigation impact of future disasters. How has Egypt emphasized that during this conference?
Thank you. Well, basically, this was mainly in Egypt's strategic direction, whether in the Egypt Vision 2030 or that had an environmental dimension in its vision, or is in a structural reform agenda that have focused and emphasized the role of green transition in the economy. We have launched an environmental sustainability guidelines that basically targets increasing the percentage of green projects in our economy. Last year we had 30% of our projects in the National Investment Plan were green. We are reaching 40% this year, and we are targeting to reach 50% the next year. As you know, and as you have witnessed, the whole government mobilized all its effort for the success of this COP, and actually to make it an action COP, not a COP for pledges or a COP for talk. And there were a lot of projects that materialized on ground, and today is the Solutions Day. In this day that we are proud as a Ministry of Planning and Economic Development to organize the Solutions Day in cooperation and coordination with Ministry of Transport, Ministry of Housing and Ministry of Environment. It emphasizes the role of the private sector in the green transition and in the climate agenda. The climate challenges are one of the main challenges the whole world is facing, and with the multiple shocks that we are facing now, coming from the COVID-19 to the geopolitical challenges, the fiscal space for all African and emerging countries is becoming limited. That's why if we look into the financing gap, and finance is a key pillar in the climate agenda, if we look to the financing gap, it is estimated for the African countries to be reached between 250 and 350 billion US dollar only for the adaptation financing gap. So we're talking about almost 2.5 to 3.5 trillion US dollar up till the year 2030. That's why we emphasize the role of the private sector in order to drive the economy, in order to work in the climate agenda. And here comes the role of the Sovereign Wealth Fund of Egypt, where I proudly chair, in order to crowd in the private sector through different projects. As you have seen, we had a lot of projects that were materialized on ground. Like today, we launched the first investment company for carbon offsetting. Basically, it's a private sector initiative. We need more innovative ideas. We also, before yesterday, we had the project of water desalination that is aligned with the government's strategy of water management. And also we have launched the green hydrogen, 9 green hydrogen projects in coordination and in a partnership with different consortia of private sector, local and international, in order to transform Egypt to become a green hydrogen hub.
Africa, and Africa is taking center stage. Two important initiatives: Decent Life Initiative, Climate Resilient Africa, and Friends of Greening National Investment Plans in Africa.
Upon the success that Egypt have achieved in adopting the Decent Life, as you know, the Decent Life, its main objective is to enhance the quality of life of people in the rural villages. More than 50% of our population are living at the rural areas and in villages. So we're basically providing them with better access to services. So we're targeting the multidimensional poverty. That's why, upon the success of this initiative, we decided to move this initiative during the COP to have a presidential initiative under the auspices of His Excellency the President for the African countries, targeting basically to improve the life of 30% of the less privileged people in the African continent. We had a lot of partners in this initiative from the UN, from international institutions, multinational banks, and also African continent with us. The other initiative is Greening the National Investment Plan, and here we embed the investment, the green and the environmental criteria in all the national investment plans, also to become the national on the regional content. And here also I'd like to commend the initiative, the National Initiative for Green and Smart Projects that we have launched a few months ago under the auspices also of His Excellency the President. We are proud as a Ministry of Planning to coordinate this among the government with different ministries. Its main role is to localize investments, green and investment projects, green, smart and investment projects across all the 27 governorates, and to achieve economic empowerment, encourage the youth and innovation and creativity, and also with a gender-sensitive manner.
Your Excellency, Minister of Planning, Dr. Hala Sayeed, we thank you so much for being with us on Nile TV.
Thank you so much. Thank you for you.